Well, welcome to Desert Chat, doctors. So appreciate having you here because we're going to talk about a very important topic. May is Stroke Awareness Month, and that is really important for our viewers to know about. And Dr. Kim, it's so wonderful because in January of this year, you actually opened up a stroke clinic.
The stroke clinic is primarily there for our patients who have had a recent stroke event and suffering a lot through it. The goal of the stroke clinic is to help minimize the recurrence of the stroke who've already had one, and also to address some of the impairment or disability that comes from it. So that's done by setting up the timely appointment to address all these chronic disease conditions that's considered risk factors like hypertension or high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, and also other clotting disorders, as well as gathering up the other appropriate healthcare provider teams to help manage those disabilities for our patients.
Yeah, and some of the signs I think we need to know about because that's crucial.
Definitely. So some of the classical signs and symptoms of a stroke includes one-sided weaknesses or numbness on the face, arm, or leg area. Other non-specific symptoms can include balance issue or dizziness, or eyes or vision changes, and also slurred speech. And there is an acronym to help you memorize that. It's called BEFAST. So the B stands for balance, E stands for eyes for vision changes, F for facial drooping, A for arm or leg weaknesses, S for slurred speech, and lastly the T stands for time to call 911. If you have 3 or more of these symptoms that comes about in a short period of time, we want you to call 911 to get the fastest evaluation and treatment to preserve some of the brain tissues.
Yeah, so important. And Dr. Sebti, exactly what is a stroke?
Stroke happens when there is a lack of blood flow to a part of brain, and that part is damaged. 90% of the time, that's exactly what happens, and we call that ischemic stroke.
Okay.
10% of the time, there is a bleed in the brain that causes damage. We call that hemorrhagic stroke. Unfortunately, stroke remains very prevalent. About every 40 seconds, an American has a stroke, and every 4 minutes, one dies from it. This is a preventable disease, and that's why our stroke clinic is so important.
Absolutely. So what would you like our viewers to know should they experience some of the signs of a stroke?
Well, just like Stephen said, you must call 911 and make sure you familiarize yourself with the symptoms, and then when it occurs, you have a plan and call 911.
For the flyer that helps to help you memorize and recognize signs and symptoms of stroke is at mydoac.com, our website.
Perfect. And the stroke clinic, as of January this year, is in Palm Springs. Thank you for that, and thank you for this important information, doctors.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sandy.